Jasmine was absolutely targeted in this arrest and many other arrests. So Pasadena is a relatively small suburb of Los Angeles. Jasmine's activism is hugely significant because she comes out of an area of Northwest Pasadena where it's deprived of resources. And what her activism really means and really signals is that people who are deprived of resources have the capacity to look up and recognize that it's the system that creates these conditions. And that system, the system that creates state-sanctioned violence, also deprives communities of resources. So when Jasmine was awakened, she did a phenomenal job of also awakening all of the folks in her community. So as Nana Jamfi described, she had children who were working with her. She had young people who were working with her. She had folks who had maybe been on the corner a week ago working with her and recognizing that the system needs to be transformed. And so that poses a threat to the existing social order that wants to keep Black poor people especially oppressed. And so Jasmine is our Bunchy Carter. Jasmine is a political prisoner and represents probably the hugest threat to the state in that the folks at the bottom can recognize their own oppression and rise up against it. Now, her conviction is hugely significant because her conviction is not only about punishing Jasmine Richards, but also is the lynching. So it's really disgusting and ironic that she's charged and convicted with felony lynching when the real lynching that's carried out is done in the same way it was carried out in the late 19th, early 20th century, where it's supposed to punish those who've dared to rise up against a system, but also you leave the body hanging from a tree to send a signal to the rest of those Black folks who might want to get out of line and remind them that the state has more power than they do. But I think that in the end, what we see, we had a packed courtroom for the entire trial. What we see is we are not going for this anymore. We are not going to let our folks be lynched. We're not going to let our folks be murdered by the state. We are working continuously for justice